Hi guys, I hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining me for another episode. So today is Friday, April the 22nd, and I'm very happy to join you again today. Well, you are joining me again today for episode 14 of season 4 of Inspirations. That's my podcast about knitting, mainly yarn dyeing, and and the yarn that I dye and sell in my Etsy shop. So I hope you're doing well. I'm sorry, I feel a bit distracted, but I'm going to get focused. So lots of things to share with you today. But first of all, if you're new to the podcast, just to tell you that this is a weekly podcast. It's uploaded to YouTube every Monday afternoon at 5 p.m. It's a bilingual podcast because you have the French version uploaded to YouTube exactly at the same time at 5 p.m. on Mondays afternoon. My name is Christelle, by the way. Nice to meet you. And there's also a newsletter sent out every Monday afternoon at 5 p.m, which is the best way to keep in touch, to stay in the loop, to know what's new in the shop and what the shop update is made of. And the shop is updated every Monday afternoon, except when there's an event or fiber festival. In that case, there is a little hiatus in the shop updates because what I'm dyeing is redirected to the event, and that's the case for this week. No shop update, well, almost no shop update, just a few skeins of yarn, because I'm going to have a pop-up shop in Brussels this weekend. So you're watching this on April the 25th, so that's Monday. And on Friday, this coming Friday, Saturday and Sunday, I will be in Brussels for a 3D event, 3 days event with Kelly and Gael, who are the owners of the Sippin knit yarn shop in Brussels. So they kindly asked me to come and open a pop-up shop in their yarn shop. It's the first event they're hosting because they've just opened their shop, and it's beautiful, it's cozy, it's lovely, it's everything you wish when it comes to a yarn shop. And I'm so very happy and proud to be the first dyer they are welcoming in their shop for a pop-up shop, for an event. So that's so cool. So I planned a lot of things for this occasion that I want to share with you. I don't know if you guys, some of you will be around and will be able to come by. So I will be there, Sippin in Brussels. I'm going to put the link in the show notes just below in the video's description. I will be at Sippin Brussels on the Friday from 2 p.m. in the afternoon. Then I'll stay for the Apéro Tricot, which is the Sippin knit night. And it's open to all, it's free. You just have to book your place on the website just to, you know, have an idea of how many people are coming. And so it starts around 5 p.m. in the afternoon, the knit night. Then I will be with them all day Saturday from like 10ish in the morning to the end of the day. And then on Sunday, they're hosting a breakfast, and I'm going to be there. All the places are sold out, unfortunately, for the breakfast, but you can also just, you know, come to the shop. I will be in the shop all morning, and if need be, in the afternoon as well. So I'm very happy and excited because, you know, I'm driving to Brussels with my family this coming Thursday, and we're going to make a vacation out of it. So we've booked a nice place. My husband is going to entertain the kids while I'm working. And then we'll have the nights for us and, you know, to have a stroll and discover Brussels because I've never been there. And we'll be driving back home on Monday. So I'm very, very excited about that. It's brand new for me. It's my first event out of France. So I've done some online events with Perth Yarn Festival, with Nutritions in Porto, with the festival in Madrid. So I've done European things before, but it was only online. So that's my first in-person event out of France, and it's a big deal. It's a super big deal. So I'm very, very happy about that. So what I planned for this event. First of all, I planned a lot of yarn and a lot of different bases. So it will be the occasion, if you don't know, you've never been to a fiber festival when I'm exhibiting, will be a great occasion for you to see in person all the bases, to touch them, to discover them, and to make your choice. It will be easier, for example, to make your choice for the almanac, the yarn of the almanac each month, which is offered on a big array of big range of yarns, so that you will be able to see them and touch them. And so I'm going to come with all the recent almanac, Sock Knitted Almanac colorways. So you'll have Teacup, you'll have Brocéliande, Druides, Lune du Loup, and I have also Casse-Noisette, a bit of Cozy Season. And I think that's it. I will not have earlier than that. Then I will have a lot of semi-solid colorways, and also I've dyed a special colorway and sock kit for the occasion. It's called Electric City, and it's a beautiful and vibrant colorway, very joyful, it's like a beige with browns and splashes of neon pink and mint green, and you have two contrasting colors which are very bright. You have Nebuleuse, and this is a new colorway. It doesn't have a name yet, but it's a vibrant green with splashes of yellow. So the Electric City is actually the name of this colorway, the full skin. Then I'm going to have the May colorway of the Sock Knitted Almanac. So it's going to be available first at Sippin Knit, and then in the shop on May the 9th. There will not be a shop update on May the 2nd because I will be driving back from Brussels. Nor will there be a podcast. So the next shop update and next podcast will be on the 9th of May. And without further ado, this is the colorway for May for the Sock Knitted Almanac. So the mood board is here, and you might remember, I don't know if I shared this because sometimes I get confused between the things I share in the French podcast and the English one, but maybe I shared it in the English one as well. A few months ago I bought this book, Calm Christmas, which is all I intend and all I wish for Christmas is to be calm, to be, yeah. I really wish to have a calm Christmas because it's always, you know, hectic, rushing and running everywhere, and I really aspire to have a more calm Christmas experience. So I bought this book, which was very good, but I should read it before Christmas, and I bought this after Christmas. So this is ensuring that my next Christmas is going to be calm. But this illustration of the little phone here just stuck with me. I don't know why, it stuck with me. And I really wanted to dye a colorway of the Sock Knitted Almanac in those warm and soft brown colors. And so it happened that I discovered that phones are usually born between April and June. And May is the month of birth for phones. So that's perfect. I decided that my May colorway would be inspired by phones. And then when I searched, you know, to put together a mood board about this, I stumbled about, this is a mood board, I stumbled upon this beautiful picture of a phone asleep amongst purple flowers. And I thought it was the most perfect accent for the almanac, because the almanac is never about just one color. You always have at least one accent, and that was absolutely perfect. So that became my inspiration for this month. Like this. And so I dyed the colorway inspired by Fawns and Flowers, and then the name, that's the name of the colorway, Fawns and Flowers. So here it is, and you can see it's a blend of browns, soft browns and soft purple, and it's really something that you will be able to use for smaller or larger projects. It's going to work beautifully for any kind of sweater or cardigan, as well as socks. So also because I wanted to have something more, you know, I wanted the colors to play together, not to completely mix one with another, but I wanted them to liaise one with another and not be too variegated in the look of the yarn. I wanted it to be like almost like a neutral, so I decided to create like a little bridge between purple and brown by using touches of very pastel pink, and it worked beautifully. You can see you have some zones here that are slightly pink but not too much, and it creates like a bridge between the two colors, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And then you have just the slightest dusting of speckles with the same colors that I used for the colorway, with just a dash of a bit of neon colors and a bit of green. And so it's a very soft colorway. This is on Stellina with sparkle. This is extra fine sock 3-ply. This is extra fine fingering. And lurex. So with this, the lurex tend to separate the colors, and so she has a mind of her own, but you know that if you're watching the podcast, you've been watching the podcast, you know that lurex has a mind of her own. And this is BFL fingering. And so I will have at Sippin in Brussels, I will have also BFL and silk. I will have BFL silk and cashmere. I will have suri and silk, mohair and silk, because typically this is the perfect colorway to knit your own Magnolia Chunky, for example, if you wish. I will have tweed fingering. It's absolutely gorgeous in tweed. And everything will be in the shop afterwards on May the 9th. As for the pattern, I wanted to, you know, again deep dive into knitty, and I went back to winter 2011 for the Java socks. The Java socks are going to work beautifully with this colorway, but more than that, the construction is very interesting because I think the gusset is patterned, and the gusset decreases are located on the upper half of the foot, on the instep, I think. Well, this is just like, that's why I love Knitty. They always, you know, publish the most innovative sock construction possible. So I've learned so much about socks by knitting patterns from Knitty. So this is the sock pattern that I'm suggesting for this month, just to, you know, enrich your sock culture as a sock knitter. Also, I wanted to share with you some new aimable goodies that I will offer for sale first in Sippin in Brussels, and then it will be in the shop. So it's the whole new series by Imabo, and they're called the Thrift Puffins. And so it's very, you know, it really makes me think of spring, and with the beautiful flowers, the pastel colors, and the naked puffins. This time around, they are lovely, and it's really a cute series. So you have the mini hinged tin box as well going in this series. You have the bookmark. You have a little notebook, lined, I think, inside. Yes, it's lined like this, very handy. And you have the little purse. And don't forget, if you are living far from France and you're, you know, put off by the shipping fees, I can totally understand. It's crazy expensive. But know that when you purchase things like this, for example, and this can be shipped flat, anything that can be shipped flat, I ship as a tracked letter, and it costs much less. It's really less expensive. So don't hesitate to ask me if you're wondering how much shipping is going to cost. You can always ask. If it's flat, I can send it as a letter, which is less expensive. Usually sometimes I cannot know in advance. It's depending on what you order, so sometimes you will have the full shipping applying, but if I'm able, each time I can do it, I always do it. So I always refund excess shipping fees anyway. So even if you are charged like 30 euros for your package to arrive, and you only ordered, for example, those 4 articles, like this and the notebook and the purse and this, I will be able to ship that for much less, because I'm going to be able to ship that flat, just so you know, and I will be refunding you the excess. Okay, then I'm going to show you the progress I made on my projects, because I mean, I'm really happy to tell you that it's the last rows of Kala, the last row of Kala. I'm going to be finished today, I think, or tomorrow, because my Kala shawl, there is only 1 row remaining, the last wrong side row, and it's done, and I got to bind off and it's done. So you can see the border is finished. It's really beautiful. I have resumed the broken ribs sequence, and I just have this last wrong side row, and it's finished. So it's going to be beautiful. I really can't wait to have it. It will be finished for Sippin in Brussels, so that's super cool. Also, I just wanted to, I don't know if you noticed, but this is my Manual Chunky cardigan, and I found, if you look at the pattern page on Ravelry, you will see that Camilla Vad has this kind of blouse, which is absolutely lovely, and I think that's what drew me to the pattern in the first place, to see how romantic it looked with this kind of blouse with the cardigan. And I'm super happy I found something very similar, and actually it goes very well with it, and I'm really liking the way it looks. So thank you, Camilla Vad, for the you know, clothing inspiration as well. Hope you don't mind I'm copying it. You were an inspiration. So because Kala is almost done, I have some room for a big project. Well, big. So I decided, I told you guys I wanted to knit myself a cropped cardigan, so I decided to knit this model by Andy Satterling, that's Belladonna, and I cast on already, because I don't like to, you know, finish something, especially a big project, and not having the next project already underway, because usually when it's like this and I've not made my decision, I've not cast on, I can remain like several days, even weeks, without a big project, because I don't know what to do. So I tend to cast on before I finish the previous project, just to be, you know, well on my way, and yeah, that's it. So I'm knitting size, the second size, because she recommends to have quite a lot of negative ease for this pattern. And it's a joy to knit. I'm using a new base in the shop, the Extra Fine Sport weight. I'm sorry, my daughter is coming home. Okay, so she just came home. Belladonna, second size. Yes, the designer recommends to have like 8 centimeters, that's 3 inches of negative ease, because I want it to be very, you know, like a tight fit to wear over a dress, a summer dress. So I'm, you know, trusting her completely. I did knit a gauge sample, a gauge sample, yes, and I got gauge, so on the first try. And fingers crossed it's going to work fine, and I'm just a bit, you know, I'm just a bit well, we'll see. I'm trusting the process, I'm trusting the designer. It's just that's the first time I'm knitting such a small size. I'm not used to it. And then on the socks front, almost every sock is at the heel. So this is the old socks. I've started increasing for the heel and reinforcing the under the heel for my sister like I did for the first one. So this is well underway. Then I turned the heel this morning for my Cornish cream tea socks. So that's, yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Is your regular slip stitch heel, nothing fancy to note here. It's just pretty easy. And then for my Edwardian boating socks, I'm about to start the slip stitch heel, not heel, which would be disgusting. The heel. You know, in French we don't pronounce the H. It's really not something that's natural for a French person to. We don't do that. We never do that. But I know in English it can make a big difference sometimes. For example, between heel and eel, which is absolutely not the same thing. But yeah, it's not natural for us. So we have to think about it. You see, we have to think about it. It's like H is a whole letter. You hear the H. In French, you don't hear the H at all. Only when it's close to C, because it makes sh, but otherwise you don't hear, like haricot vert, you don't say haricot vert, you say haricot vert. It's like there's no H. So it's, yeah, that's something that's a bit difficult for us. Anyway, that's it for this week, guys. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. I'll see you on May the 9th, and I wish you a lovely, lovely week. See you soon, guys. Bye.